What up, world? It's Canon Corey, man, and I'm about to react to, I guess, a video where someone's asking what are the benefits of being a stepfather. Let's see what happens.
Off the table, I just want to know what benefit would I get for being a stepfather? Would a man be wrong for asking a woman that?
I think it's a loaded question because why are you asking me that? I feel like as a man, you should know what if you're coming into a relationship where there's children involved, I don't think that's an appropriate question to ask in terms of what's the benefit that I get for being a stepfather to your children. Like, that doesn't even sound right to me.
No?
Because I'm going to look at...
Is she trying to speak in logic? Because that made no logical sense. As soon as she started off with the sentence as a man and then started to proceed to try to say what a man should do, I was really already lost, because I hate when women try to tell men how to be a man. Like, y'all have no clue what it really feels like or how it feels to be a man. And then not to mention what it's like to be a man and a stepfather to someone else's children.
At you like you're crazy.
Okay.
Because I feel like if you know that I have children, you should already start programming your mind to think, okay, I'm going to be around her children.
Okay.
My question is, why should I want you around?
You should already start programming your mind. So she's saying to go against what your mind is already thinking by. So you got to pre-program your mind is what you really is trying to say, into forcing yourself to believe that it's a benefit. It's a what's the word? Not a benefit. It's like you should be lucky to have the opportunity to be the father in those kids' life. Now, hey, to each his own, you know what I'm saying? Everyone, I totally can get how you can love the kids. You know, I get it, because, you know, there's some dope kids out there. But I'm just saying, for her mindset to think that she's in the upper echelon part of this argument, or she's the one with the leverage, she is sadly mistaken.
What benefits do we get from having you around? So that's what I would need to know. Like, what are my children going to see in you?
Why are you talking about what you need to know? The question was directed towards a man and not towards the woman. This is classic gaslighting right here. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is classic manipulation at its finest. You know, to like make you think that what she thinks is more important than what you think, and how she feels is what's more important than how you feel. You know, and women like this gotta tell themselves stuff like this in order to be able to exist in society, just on some real stuff. Because in actual reality, if you're a man and you got no kids and you come into a relationship with someone who has kids, you have a lot more opportunities in your life to be able to move in and find someone who don't got kids, or, you know, be with another person. You're the one that's coming in where you're gonna now take on baggage. You're gonna take on responsibility that you did not have to take on. She's the one that's like saying, hey, I got all this stuff going on, and can you please? She should be asking you. She should be like, you know, have respect for the fact that you're deciding to even give it a shot. You know, humble yourself, because having this type of mindset, it's the reason why women like her be single all the way through the rest of their kids become adults, and them kids end up getting married and having their own kids, and they now grandmas, and they still are single and alone. I ain't even finished watching the video yet.
What are my children going to learn from you?
Okay.
Those are the questions. So if you're saying what...
Those are the questions that you ask if you're deciding you're going to date him, right, as a woman. But this was not the focal point of what the question was that was directed to you. You completely jumped over the question. You completely just ignored the question, and you did exactly what politicians do, where they completely distract you from the actual question that's being asked by asking you a question. It's like, oh, you asked me a question? Well, here's a better question. What you really should be asking is this, or what you really should be thinking is this.
What benefit do you have?
It's called deflecting.
From being a stepfather to my children? I'm going to ask you, why are you even asking that question?
Okay. I'm not saying that it's off the table.
Yeah, she out of there. She's a classic manipulator. It took her a minute to really dive into that answer, because she had to figure out how can she word it to benefit her. And like I said, I already knew off the rip, once you start talking about as a man is her first sentence, yeah, that's out of there. Beware of women like this, fellas. Beware of women like this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because this is wild. It's a wild one.